Welcome to Thrive and Serve. I'm Colin Scotland. We explore how being our most authentic selves is what truly and powerfully amplifies our impact. Today, I want to talk about letting go of judgment, aiming without judgment. It's a powerful one, and it helps us to be more productive, more powerful, and more in flow in the work that we do in service of others. So take a deep breath with me. And let's dive in. When we let go of judgment, we create a space for the new ideas, new things, and for us to be able to step outside of that zone of comfort that often keeps us playing small, not making the leaps and growth that we know we can make. We know it in our heads, but we don't do it. We're held inside of this almost invisible prison that keeps us. And judgment is the killer of progress, of productivity, of flow state, of genuinely creating something that helps others and makes a difference in people's lives. If we think about this from a goal setting perspective, as an example, if we have a goal to do anything, to go to the gym 3 times this week, to hit a milestone revenue target in my business, to acquire a number of clients, whatever the target, the goal might be, then whether we hit that target, meet it, or fall short of it, the reaction to is what we're talking about here with the judgment. So we have a goal to hit a 20K per month target in the next 4 weeks, and we don't hit it. Or we hit it a week early, or a week late, or 4 weeks late. It's irrelevant, right? The idea is the reaction. So oh no, we didn't hit that goal. We didn't meet that target. We didn't get to the gym that 3 times this week when we set out to do that. We only went twice. I want to go 5 times. I only went 4. I only went 2. And this is where judgment steps in. We heap on ourselves this self-judgment, this critique, this inner critic around what we haven't done. What we haven't done. In my mastermind circles, we have a part of the session where we focus on wins, progress, and challenges. It's where people check in to see where they're at the start of the session. Hey, I'm an 8 out of 10 today, and here's why. We deliberately focus on celebrating our wins because we are very quick, all of us, very quick to minimize or diminish those things that are successes. Oh yeah, I got 2 new clients. Yeah, but I haven't done this. I haven't done that. I haven't done this. And this is judgment at play because we are almost glossing over the fact that we've made great progress. We've done amazing things. And the energy of the positive is much outweighed by the energy of the negative, the judgment energy. So we deliberately portion time to celebrate, to cheer. I have this clap that I bring onto the thing. Woo! And we celebrate those amazing things as they happen because we are too quick, too often, to heap on judgment and not look at the wins, the things that we're grateful for. I love how Dr. Joe Dispenza says that attitude is the ultimate state of receivership. So when we can bring ourselves into that energy of gratitude is the attitude of receivership. I don't know what the saying is. You'll have to look it up. But it's essentially conveying this idea that as we lean into the energy of gratitude, that brings us into a higher vibration, a higher frequency of energy. And then our world changes. So Like frequencies attract like, everything is energy. And the more that we can work on and uplift our energy, then the world around us changes. That's how the nature of this existence really, really works. This is why you have the power to change everything about your life, your business, your circumstance right now. So think about letting go of the judgment. And for me, I get a great sense of the weight being lifted from my shoulders. I literally feel lighter. I feel like I lift in my chair. My shoulders come up. My spine straightens. And it gives me a sense of freedom and a sense of space. A space to explore that I maybe wouldn't have done without that sense of freedom. And in that exploration, this is where we go outside of the zone of comfort. And this is where we make unexpected discoveries. We make breakthroughs. We see things differently now because we are leaning in to a different space and a different place. Like we talked about in the last session about taking that step into the darkness in trust. It's much easier to do that without judgment. And also without judgment, mistakes are no longer mistakes. They are valuable lessons, valuable learning opportunities. And so we're much less discouraged by things that don't go according to plan. With judgment, oh no, look what I've done. I've made this mistake. I've done this. I've done that. I'm never going to do it again. Oh no, woe to me, right? Without judgment, wow, that didn't go how I expected it to. Let me play with that again. Let me go and do that again. Let me just see how you can make this better. Look at the difference in the energy in both of those examples. The first example is going to freeze. They're going to be paralyzed. They're going to stop. They're not going to make progress. The second example could care less. The second example is just going to keep playing until they hit success. Can you see that difference? It's really, really important. Napoleon Hill in Outwitting the Devil says that every failure carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater success. An equivalent or greater success. Every failure. And I don't like the word failure. So failure is a learning when we reframe it in that way, when we remove judgment, when we aim without judgment. So not only are we now able to step out of that place of comfort, to embrace mistakes and to do what we wouldn't ordinarily do, which opens up our world even further, it's much easier to get into flow state because without judgment, we can do it without the sense of shame, the sense of awareness of. In the Garden of Eden, they talk of Adam and Eve and this knowledge of good and evil, this awareness that they were naked and the shame that they felt at that awareness. I'm naked. And when we step out as creators, as coaches, as entrepreneurs, we feel naked. We feel a nakedness because we are putting us out there and we feel vulnerable and we feel scared and we feel naked. We feel ashamed potentially at the judgment, not just of ourselves now, but the judgment of others or the perception of that judgment. How will they think of me? How will I be received? All of this stuff just comes up, right? I'm trying to do it without like getting into it, and then I'll get into it, and then my creative flow will just diminish as a result because that's just the way that it happens, right? And so here you find yourself just being in a place where authentic expression becomes difficult because you are judging yourself, and the judgment is the thing that's stopping you from getting into creative flow. Creativity thrives when we are immersed in this moment, this one, this very special one that you and I are sharing together right now. Creativity flourishes in this moment when we allow it to flourish. If we hold on and we're like, oh, no, I can't say that. Oh, I can't say that. oh, I can't let myself think that way. We're holding on, we're clinging. Buddha calls it like clinging and attachment. If we're in that place, then creativity becomes stifled and we're not able to create magic. So letting go of the judgment lets go of that fear of criticism or rejection and allows you to be fully immersed in what you're doing. And it will lead you to being more of the truest expression of self. Your goal on this planet is to express you truly. No fear, no judgment, no holding back, just you expressing you. That's the journey I'm on every single week as I share my thoughts and the things that are coming up for me in this podcast. It's just to be me and to let go of all of that nonsense that's saying, Colin, what are you doing? Who do you think you are? You're just a bumbling idiot from Liverpool. Just be quiet, Colin. and it weighs you down. It's heavy. That negativity is heavy. And so Jesus said that my yoke is light. It's joy. The joy of that is light. The energy of positivity is light. It's much lighter than the heavy weight of negativity, than the heavy weight of judgment. And so here, can you see how we are just beginning to cultivate self-compassion? We're beginning to allow ourselves to be kinder to ourselves in that judgment. So the judgment, we're not even judging the judgment. This is meta now, right? We're not judging the judgment. We are allowing it to be without the judgment. We're letting go of any sense of judgment. We're letting go of any feeling that we've fell short or we've fallen short. We've fallen short. Think about that language right there. That's basically saying that we are not enough. We are not worthy because we've not hit this milestone. We've not hit this goal. We haven't done this thing that we set out to do. And so if we just let that go and bring in aiming without judgment, cultivating this sense of self-compassion, of kindness to self, the energy again is different. Can you see how everything is energy here? Everything is going to lift and elevate how we show up for ourselves and how we show up for others. How you show up for those people that you serve with what you do. It's all energy. This is what it means when they say the answers you seek are inside of yourself. If you can connect with that, if you can play with that, you will change and the world around you will change as a result. Truly. So if we take that lack of judgment or letting go, releasing any sense of judgment, we become more open, more trusting, less closed, and more open to the gifts that the universe wants to give us. Those gifts of abundance, free flowing abundance, of joy, of blessings that you can not even count because they are so many. All of that is there and open to each one of us if we can not be closed and open the door to those things. Jesus said, knock and the door will open. We have to knock. You have to knock in order for that openness to take place, in order for that gift to be given. So how do we do it? How do we aim without judgment? Sounds well and good, Colin. I like the idea of this, of letting go, of not judging myself, but thoughts keep coming up. Yes, they do. Welcome to reality. Welcome to the human condition. So one of the things that I love to play with and explore and experiment with and diligently practice is my meditation practice of trying to be mindful, of working on the muscle of mindfulness. And for me, mindfulness, my practice is meditation. So I sit in meditation each day and I observe what's going on. I observe the thoughts, the feelings. Don't try and get rid of them. That's not the point of meditation. Your thoughts aren't your enemy. Your thoughts are part of who you are. So the goal in this is for you to rise to the top, for that positivity, that joy, that innate sense of who you truly are to become, to move to the surface so that you can see, view, observe without judgment. Without judgment. That's the key. Without judgment. And you can observe without judgment in those moments when things are tough. Not when you're sat in peace and harmony and quiet and stillness. It's easy when you're sat then. It's easier. It's not easy. It's easier. But when trouble comes, when darkness is at your door, that's when that muscle is the key to letting go of judgment. I did a keynote presentation last week for the guys at coaching.com for a summit, and I was sharing my learnings on AI for coaches, a topic that I am deeply passionate about, because this to me is the lever, the enhancer, the great accelerator of universal consciousness, as we as coaches and people who act in service of others are able to amplify what we do with the technology. So love the message, love sharing all of the things that I'm learning. And yet this was quite a big audience. So I am then faced with all of these thoughts, all of these feelings, this physiological sense of performance anxiety, of all of these people, Colin, and they're going to want to listen. Why are they going to want to listen to you? And then all of this stuff comes up, and that negative cycle is just there. It's just there in the background, dealing with it all the time. So what mindfulness and meditation and practice does for me is it allows me to replace that negative self-talk and to bring in that positivity, to exercise that muscle of seeing, to exercise that muscle of being in that place of witness consciousness, being that in that place of the observer, to see, I can feel that in my body. I can feel my body physically shaking now. I can feel my heart rate going up. And I have this sense, and I have a feeling in my stomach of butterflies, and I'm feeling it, but I'm awake. I'm alert to it and able to see it. And then when you're able to see it, you're able to transmute. You're able to transmute that energy of performance anxiety into the energy of creativity and change the frequency, channel that, because it's there. It's part of who you are. That self-talk, that all of that stuff. It's part of who you are. And one of the greatest gifts on my journey in that process was reading Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The 4 Agreements. And the first of those 4 agreements, it's a wonderful read. If you've not read it, highly recommend that you do. The first of those 4 agreements is to be impeccable with your word. When you are impeccable with your word, not just your word, the things that you say, right? It's not just the things that you say outwardly. It's the things that you say inwardly. And when you are impeccable with your word and you're able to exercise the muscle of awareness to see, I'm criticizing myself here, I'm beating myself up here, and you're able to choose a different response in that moment. So we let go of judgment. All of a sudden, we can embrace the imperfections of the reality of life. So that talk that I gave, it was a beautiful experience. It was a powerful message of sharing, and I grew through that process. Next time I do something like that, I'm going to go through the same process again. It's just part of the experience. So embracing that, letting go of judgment and just allowing it to be, and then not letting it stop you, allowing it to let you grow and go into flow. That's the key. That's the key. Reframing how you view mistakes and failures. And then a big one that I wish I could have told myself many years ago was, Colin, surround yourself with other people who are on the same path. Surround yourself with people on the same journey, people who are cheerleading you, people who are wanting the best for you, because that is massively powerful. Where people are gathered with the same intention, with the same energy, sharing a goal of growth, abundance, success, magic happens in that. Magic truly happens. I see it every day inside of our unlimited calls, inside of my mastermind community, when we're all collaborating to try and fix and help and solve and support each other. It makes a massive difference because we stay closed, we stay inside of ourselves, and that judgment is allowed to grow. Whereas just seeing ourselves reflected in the lives of those people around us, that in itself can be a powerful thing to take you out of that cycle of judgment. So just to kind of close this off, looking at this idea of aiming without judgment, of truly stepping in to who we are on this planet to be, and letting go of any desire for a specific outcome. That's when magic happens. That's when magic outcomes happen. So Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita talks about following your dharma, doing it full out, and letting go of any attachment to a desired outcome. That's what it means to let go. That's what it means to aim without judgment. And my invitation to you is to aim without judgment. Live in this moment right now. Enjoy every moment. And cultivate that practice, that sense of energy lifting, frequency rising, of the light, the fun, and the easy growing in you, growing in the things that you do, so you too can make magic. Make magic in your life, and make magic for those people that you serve. Thank you for joining me today on Thrive and Serve. I'm Colin Scotland, and if you found this content helpful, I would encourage you to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And go let your unique light shine in the world in the way that only you can. I'll see you